Hey guys, today's video is going to be a very interesting video. It is just to show you a couple of updates, things that will be happening in my room and that I'll be able to review with you all using my Wilson Audio Alex. I am very excited to show you something new. Before I go there, I want to thank Stephen Barnes for letting me borrow some of these items. These items do not belong to me, but he does believe I am going to be quite impressed by a lot of this stuff. So let's just go over what this great guy who's following me, just like you all, has decided to send me. And that is a lot of electronics from Synergistic Research. Look at that. A lot of different electronics, a lot of goodies. So let's go over the first one, the Atmosphere Mini 4. What that is essentially a device that goes right between your speakers. That's what you see right now on your screen. And what you do is you plug that into the wall and then you connect it to your Ethernet. Open up your iPad. There's an application you download, and then you have settings there for different types of presentations, such as holographic, Grand Canyon, acoustic. And you're able to essentially change the way the sound is presented. I think this is something that I really never thought I would try, but it's very interesting to me because think of it as an equalizer, but it's somehow doing that with the waves, the sound waves in your room. It's somehow interacting with your own music without actually being plugged into your components. All it is a device that gets plugged in, and somehow it manages to, best way to say it is, grab the music in the air in your room and just changes it to whatever tonality you want it to be. So I thought that was a really cool thing to try. I'm very excited to try that. Never thought I would try something like that. But like I said, I'm giving you a high level overview of what it does. Okay, I'm not going too technical in it, all right? Because I have absolutely no exposure to this. So I'm really excited to try that. So that's one item. Okay, next I have these are the XLRs, the Atmosphere Level 2 XLRs. Okay, so these are actually, I'm very interested in these things. I think these cables are going to add something that I probably am missing using Griffin cables. I do not know what that will be. I don't know if it's going to be a plus or a minus, but I'm very excited to try this. Let's see what happens with this. Let's see what these cables do. If you can see here, all right, see this, it comes with a power cord, right? So you're wondering, what the hell is that for, Jay? All right, so look at the cables right here. See this? That tip, you connect it on this cable right here, and then this goes into a wall to your outlet. And what that does is it lowers the floor noise of the cables even further. So it literally brings a lot more information out of your music. Again, never tried it, don't know how effective that will be, but given that I have that great speaker, that speaker will tell me. That speaker will really reveal what this does. Okay, so I'm excited for those XLRs. Next, these are the model before the current model, which is the Galileo UEF speaker cables. And this is a cable that I have been wanting to try for quite some time. Got some carbon fiber blocks in here that I'm sure have some sort of a filter or of some sort. Okay, and they also have the same technology of what I said to you. See that? Just like the XLR. So it gets plugged into another here. See that? It gets plugged into that. You're able to do the same thing here. This is cool because you see this tuning, kind of like a fuse. It's not really a fuse, but this is like a tuning device that you plugged into the cable, and you're able to change the tonality of the cable, how you want it to sound. You're able to just literally screw them on here. See that? And you're able to change the sound of the cable, how you want it, warmer, brighter, more detail, less detail, whatever you want. So that's actually a very exciting speaker cable as well. I mean, I'm just thinking, look how many, the only thing I'm thinking about is the amount of power cords, I mean, the amount of outlets I'm going to need to plug all this, because you almost need an outlet to plug every single cable. The next one, these are called Tranquility pods. I have 3 of these. What these are is, think of it as what I have here. See that? Think about it like this. This is the same thing, right? Kind of like that. It removes like vibration and some noise, and it cleans up a lot of the sound, right? Somehow magically demagnetizes all of that. Well, this is their version. Synergistic research. All right, so you plug this again, another outlet, plug it there, plug it into the wall, and all you got to do is place it on top of the component. All you got to do is plug it into the wall, and then just set it there and leave it alone. And it's supposed to do magic as you do that component by component. All right, so just wanted to let you know. That is going to be cool, because I do believe these devices make a huge difference. Like, not necessarily just this one, I'm saying in general. These devices that go on top of components, I have personally heard a huge difference in my presentation. All right, so let's go to the next item. Power cell. That's just, like a power conditioner type of thing, kind of like that Niagara that I have there, right? Kind of the same thing, but it's their version that you see right there. Like that, one of those. All right, so that's their own version with the power cord, one of those power cords that I'm going to show here next. Power cords. This is, I have 2 of these power cords. Look at the tuning. See the tuning fuses? The devices they use to tune the cable. Screw them on and off. Each color represents a different type of sound. These are the Atmosphere level 3. This is 1 power cord. I'm probably going to try that on the Boulder, and then I'm going to try it on the DCS DAC in the clock ultimately. All right, and then the last thing I have is, it's going to be pretty exciting. This is also an active block, so it's kind of like a it's a ground block essentially, right? That's what that is. So you ground everything using this device, and it brings you all these tiny cables that you basically, let me show you. See these holes right here? So it brings you these cables. See that? These little tiny cables. So what you do is essentially plug these ends on here, and then the other end of the cable goes into what we talked about, into like other devices. Basically, you're grounding devices to that. That's what you're doing with those cables. And that's supposed to eliminate even the floor noise, have far more of a black background, less hissing noise, less dirt, all of that. So that's going to be another thing. So a lot of this stuff is really based on the idea of, noise reduction, right? If you think about it, a lot of this is about the main thing I see here happening is a lot of noise reduction. A lot of that. These people are big on noise reduction, and that's great. Not that I feel I need it, but remember, I don't know any better. So for me right now, my system sounds extremely clean, crystal clear, liquid. I'm thinking there's no way this is going to sound better in terms of like noise reduction and black backgrounds, right? But who knows? Maybe I plug all of this into the system and I am completely floored. And I'm pretty excited, because let me tell you, this company has been doing this for a long time, and a lot of people that I respect, whose opinion I respect, have told me this is great stuff. But you know me, until I try it, I can't really talk about it. So that's what we're going to do here, okay? A lot of stuff, guys. A lot of different items here that I'm really excited about, and I'm just happy to share this with you all. Now, I don't know how soon I'm going to do this. What I'm thinking of doing here is first thing is I want to start with the speaker cables right off the bat. That's going to be my first change, right? I'm going to change and put the speaker cables in the system and then listen and see what happens. right? Let them stay in the system for about a day. If I said one thing here on my videos, guys, has been, takes time for cables to settle in any system. Don't just change them out and think you know it. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't work that way, okay? When you introduce any cable, not just these, just in general, trust me when I say this, if you change your XLRs, power cords, speaker cables, any cable, and you have a system, doesn't have to be like mine, but you know, it has to be a very highly resolving system. I'm telling you right now, you don't hear the full potential of that cable at least until about 24 hours later. Hopefully within these 24 hours you have been playing music, because I'm expecting you to. Then you can sit down and circle back and evaluate the change. So remember, it takes time for the molecules inside the cable to align. It takes time for the current flow. It takes time for all of that to happen inside the cable. All that magic it takes time to begin to really get as good as possible. That's the best way to say it, okay? So when the cable's cold, when the cable hasn't been in the system, plugged in anywhere, guys, think of it as a cold engine. When you first start it, it starts, but it doesn't operate the same way until, you know, a few minutes later, right? It's the same thing. You got to wait for the oil to begin to move inside the engine. It's the same thing with cables. It takes time. Think about it like that, all right? I've learned so much because of what I have been doing that now, if I circle back to what I used to do, you would be shocked about the things that I look back now and I realize how wrong I really was about a lot of my approaches to audio, and I have a lot more to learn. I know I do. I'm not perfect. We are all learning. I am learning as much as you guys are with me. This is going to be an extremely good experiment. I think you guys are going to, and you know what's cool, guys? Before I sign out here, what's cool is that I'm gonna try hard to let you all hear cable changes. You guys are gonna be able to hear, for those of you who don't believe in cables, and if they make any difference in a system, you're gonna hear it with those bad boys right there and all of this. You're gonna hear it. I promise you. If you've been waiting to hear cable changes, if you have been a person that has never believed in that, you need to stay tuned. You will be blown away when you hear cables changes in my system. And what I'm gonna try to do, like one song with one cable, cut the video, and then immediately right after that, play the same song with different cables. Right? Obviously, it will have to be done on separate days because, as I mentioned to you, I need to let the cables settle in the system. So I will have to shoot a video like that over like 2 days. That's what I want to do. I want you all to learn with me and actually have first-hand experience with, and I'm going to say it again. Don't forget about this. Just think of it as what cables can do to a system. Highly resolving system. That way you guys are not scrambling thinking, oh, I bought an amplifier and you know what? I'm not spending $300 on a power cord. I'm going to show you why you should upgrade your cables. Okay? Thank you guys one more time. I hope you guys are looking forward to this. And I have one big surprise. I do not know when I'm going to tell you all what it is, but I have one more surprise. No, it's not the boulders. The boulders will be here next week. It's something else I haven't told anybody. Stay tuned. A lot of heads will be turning and a lot of jaws will be dropping when I show you what it will be. That will be extremely interesting, especially for those of you who are looking for affordable items. I am specifically talking to you guys who have been begging me to bring something affordable. Stay tuned. It's coming. It is coming. Good night.